All right, hi 333. So this is the lesson for May 12th. In it, we're going to be talking about the equations of circles. Now, this is not typically covered in Algebra 1. I just wanted to cover this because it does normally show up on NWEA. And I'm sure you guys have seen this before, so I just wanted to make sure that we had covered it. So the typical formula for a circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And so in this means that the x value plus squared plus the y value squared is going to be equal to the radius squared. And this might seem really familiar to you from Pythagorean theorem, which is basically what it's based off of, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is where this is coming from, okay? So if we are looking at a circle where the center is on the origin, it's actually really easy to derive the formula for it. It's basically just the radius squared. So in the first case, in number 1, it's going to be the formula for this one is going to be x squared plus y squared equals, well, the radius here is 2. So 2 squared is going to be 4. So that's the equation of that line, or of that circle. All right, but this is only for when the middle part is on the origin. Notice here the middle part is on the origin, so we can do it again. The radius here is 3. So the formula or the equation here is going to be x squared plus y squared equals 3 squared, which is 9. Now, in the case that there is the center of the circle and it is not in the origin, you're going to have to change it up a little bit. So notice that this center right here is at 3, 5. The equation down here, imagine that I didn't get this paper wet. The equation down here is x minus 3, because notice that the x value right here is a positive 3 squared. And over here it's y minus 5, because notice right here that the y value is 5 squared equals the radius squared. So from here to the outside is 4 spaces. So that's why it's equal to the radius squared here. All right, so if we are looking at the next page right here, we can see that this center right here is at 2, negative 1. So that's why we have x minus 2 squared. And notice it's at negative 1, so that's why we have y plus 1, so the opposite here, squared. And the radius, so from here outward is 3 spaces. Well, 3 squared is 9, so that's why right here it equals 9. So if we look down here, see how the center is at the origin for that one, then we're not going to have to deal with anything other than that radius. So it's going to be x squared plus y squared equals radius squared. Well, the radius is 2, so it's going to be 4 here. Now the next one we do have to deal with something because the center is at 2, 0. So the center here is at 2, 0. So that means that for x, we're going to have to do parentheses x minus 2 squared. And since the y value there is 0, we don't have to deal with anything. So plus y squared equals, well, the radius here is 2. 2 squared is 4. So that is that equation here. All right, last one of these right here. I can see that the center of this is at the point negative 2, positive 2. So that means that my x is going to be x plus 2, because we have to do the opposite, squared, plus y minus 2 squared equals, well, our radius is 2, so 2 squared is 4. Just like that. All right, we got to look at these down here to match them up. Well, the center of this first one is at the point 3, 0. So I'm going to be looking for one that has to do with 3 and with 0. And so because it's positive, it should be minus up here. So that means that this one is going to match up with B. Notice that this one has a center at 0, 0. So because it has a center at 0, 0, I'm going to match it up with A, because notice how there's no parentheses or anything like that. And obviously this one is going to be C, and that one makes sense because this is at the point negative 3, 0 is the center. And so since it's at negative 3, 0, that's why we're going to be having this plus 3 right there. All right, on the last page, you're just going to match these up. I will upload my answers.